up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, February 7th to all of you. Thank you for watching Sportsbook Review. This is the final betting with the bag, and we are going out with a bang. We have a packed show. We have a video from Matt Randall, a video from Mr. Fat Fist. We're going to be joined by Parlay Poppy, Al Mac, Big Ragu, Teddy Covers, and Maxwell Smart. We had a little going away booze fest last night. And as I was, hanging out with the people here at SBR that I've become so close to, the losses just started coming in. And it all started with the Ducks not winning in overtime there. Petrie scoring 20 seconds into overtime, and then the losses just came mounting, and it was my worst night of 2020. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning as if it was all a dream, and then looked at the scores, and it wasn't a dream. So the beating that I took has kind of, I don't know, maybe taken me away a little bit from the sadness of the show leaving. Just the hurt in my wallet has changed sort of some of my energy, but I'm just so thankful for everything that's gone on in the last 2.5 years, and all of these cappers in the chat that have become such close friends of mine, and that's not going to change. And this is the last betting with the bag, and sitting here right now, I didn't know what I was going to say about the show or anything like that. I didn't plan anything out, but really the first thing that has to be said is a big thank you to Peter Loshak. I just wanted to sit beside the man so badly, and I said I would host the IFBC conference. I'll host it for them, because I'm a comic. That's a big paying gig, but I'll do it. But let me sit beside Pete Loshak and get a chance to do a couple shows with him, and that would be my payment, or that'd be the payment from SBR, just to get a chance to sit with Pete Loshak. And this is all of this, everything that we've created is based on the teachings that Pete, taught us, and the legend Pistol Pete Loshak, and the transparency and the authenticity and the love for capping, and the kindness and the care, and so as this is coming to an end, in the moment, I realize that first and foremost, he is the man that needs to be thanked the most, and I just love him so much. And so let's start with the legend Lodels Loshak, and that beautiful stash that I got to look into for so long. And none of this would have happened if it wasn't for Pistol Pete Loshak. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat, man. You guys have become such close friends of mine. We have a new show popping off on Wednesday. There's going to be a live chat there, and I need you guys badly, because I'm really going to be focusing on NHL and NBA, so I need you guys to fill in the other spots. Maxwell Smart is starting a new show, a morning show, a college basketball show with Flash and Donnie Rightside. I'm sure that'll be a monstrous success. And my show starts Wednesday in Toronto. I want to give a big shout out to the cappers in the chat. There's going to be highs and lows to this show, and there's going to be times where it gets more emotional and less emotional. But the one thing that we need to do is cap this card and get the money that I lost yesterday back. So that's what it all comes down to, is capping. And so let's not forget that we need to cap this card is the best to the best of our abilities. So shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Dave and Cal 48, Omar J Legend, Alex Ramirez, what a guy. Much love. I love you guys so much. Carlos Baroge, Neil P. Chi. Oh, Shy Archie in the house. Shy Archie in the house. Setting the over under how many of you motherfuckers will admit to crying by the end of the show. Shy, my guy Shy Archie, nice to see you. Backdoor Cover, Steven Esposito, Jansen Bonson, MJ, Michael Jordan, Dennis Garcia. Jansen Bonson, we're going to be hanging a lot in Toronto very, very soon. Michael MacArthur, Kumpy says, I did double up on Robert Morris. Thank God for Robert Morris. Everything else went south in a hurry. And I'm at my low watermark of the season in NHL on this last day, which is just like, I don't know how the capping gods do this. I don't know how they do this. Steven Esposito says we're setting up a Vegas show. Nice to hear. Steven Esposito, keep us informed so we can support you as you have supported us. Slats 45 in the house. Anthony Tarango. Jeffrey Ryan, Mitch Bruner, Maxwell Smart says, I'll eat a whole chicken in your honor. Big Ragu, he'll be on the show. G-Sauce, I'm listening to Boys and Men. It's so hard to say goodbye. Oh, Yog Buddha, Raven in the Desert. Oh, and there's my guy, Drew from the SBR Forum. Dan Kelly just got in for plowing for the last 2 hours. Got back out this afternoon. Great skiing snow. Thank you, Dan Kelly. I'm not looking forward to the weather back in Toronto. Baseball Bob, Oops, Squad Cap, E. Dula, Eddie Euler, Nicholas Fogg, Matt Cratchit, Danny Medlow, Guillermo Bertucci, my guy out west, Lance LaRose, Jay Stone, Bob Barube, Josh Point0, A.M., Heart and Hand, Small Thrill, Nasty, Nate in the house, Al Hard, Richard Puelo. What a great group. Prince of the City. Prince of the City going to be coming up to Toronto to roll with me in a minute. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to go to a couple Raptors games back-to-back. Tony Based. Raven says Lakers lost on purpose. That was not good. Dutch Boy Fresh. Steve Zhang. Arnold Valentine. Top Set. EJV. Damian McCorston. Eddie Euler. Alvin Smith. Raymond Riker. Comic Ricky. Daryl Lyles. Luke Chase Fox. Jay Stone. Michael Jenkins. Silver Malco. Shadow. Cole Coleone. What a great group. Ron Fig, A. Hilly, Jim Rome's a douche, Anthony Mastinardi, Dan B, Comic Ricky, Flipper 13, Paco Healy, King Art, Don Carleone, Mr. Gokster, and Paco Healy, Henry John, Junior Smile, Liberty Finder, there's Liberty Finder. Oh, God, it's great to see you. I've been thinking about you, man. I went through those lung issues myself. Oh, Liberty Finder, so nice to see you. Robert Allen, Ziggy, Richard Lee, Neil Money, Alvin Smith, Omega Capper, Sammy, Rod Zawacki, Anna Merrick, Jimmy CC, Sebastian Arnold. What a great group. Nutflush Allen, Sergio Rodriguez, Dana Delp, D Money, Flick My Big, Coco Bongo, Unbelievable, Trevor Ansel, Astute Chaos, D Summers, Jesse Daly, Ziggy 007, Lance LaRose. What a great group. I'm thanks. Ski Prophet, Von Polo, Yenny Toon. What a great group. Astute Chaos, Ron Crawford. Okay. Very thankful to roll with you guys. All right. Let's get after this card. MT13. Gerald Jones, Dog Bry, Raven in the Desert. What a great group. Slugger, Cards for Life. Dan Kelly, Serious Business. All right, let's get after and smash this card. We have Melvin Betances, my guy. Melvin Betances in the house. Small Thrill, Nasty Nate, AM, Jay Stone. God, lucky. I'm very thankful to roll with you guys. All right, let's bring in Parlay Poppy right now. Parlay Poppy, and let's hammer this NHL card. And let's first show what a disaster last night did to my record. And what my NHL record looks like now, Rafa, please. Jay Money in the house, too. Lenny Jean-Louis. Coco Bongo. What a disgrace that record is. What has happened? I can't believe it's going to happen. I can't believe this happened. Oh, man, it hurts. It hurts. There's my guy, Sharif Talat Bricker. Primetime DJS. All right, Poppy, the pride and joy, Long Beach, California, joining me right now to cap this NHL card. How you doing, Parlay Poppy?
It is Friday, Jimmy. Freaky Friday. Fantastic Friday. Fucked up Friday. The feels Friday. The feels of the last show that we do. What an honor it's been, Jimmy. It's been fun. And all the cappers, all you guys except maybe 2 or 3 of you guys can go fuck yourself, literally. But the rest of you guys, we've made some great relationships. We meet in person. We get living. We get live. And it's just been a great experience, Jimmy. I don't really do the goodbye thing because I usually just dip. You know, I'm just out. Like nothing is said. So that's kind of my way of doing things, Jimmy. But let's get to this NHL card on a positive note and cash some buck for the last time for some winners today, Jimmy.
Let's do it, Poppy. It is nice to have you here on the final show. You've been a big part of everything that we have done here on this show. Let's start with the Ducks Leafs. Let's also pull out the best odds page on the planet to help us work through this. We don't have a ton of time. We have a bunch of special guests on the show, so let's work through this. My guy, Parlay Poppy. Ducks Leafs. Leafs open up at minus 255. They're now minus 252. This total sitting at 6.5. Do we know if we will see the debut of Jack Campbell? Looks like Ryan Miller will be between the pipes for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Ducks on the second half back-to-back, losing in overtime last night 3-2. That was the beginning of my horrifying night. 2-0-1. 3 games of a 5-game trip, but they haven't looked that good. And they beat the Kings. They beat the Senators in overtime. Ducks have twice overcome 1-goal deficits on this road trip. They did outshoot the Habs pretty badly last night, 35-24. Leafs coming off that 5-3 loss to the Rangers. They pick up Campbell and Clifford. Clifford gives them a little bit of toughness. I don't know if we're going to see the debut of Campbell and Cody Ceci out of the lineup. Are you making a move here?
I'm 90% sure Campbell's going to be in. My guy from LA, thank God they had to do something there. Toronto fighting for their playoff lives. Can Anaheim play spoiler? That's about all they can do in this role that they've given themselves in this pathetic Pacific division. It's disgraceful what we're doing on the West Coast, Jimmy. I expect Jack Campbell to be in net, and I expect Toronto to give him a good welcoming and actually fucking give him some support and protection in front of the net. Not all the bad things that had happened to Hutchinson was his bad. There are so many inefficiencies on that blue line in Toronto. You know all about, Jimmy. Breaking it down real simple, Ryan Miller's decent on the road. Toronto really needs this, and they should win, right? But this price is absolutely crazy. If anything, I actually like the total at 6.5. I like that under. Throughout the season, the Ducks have gone under 9 times when they're on a third or longer road trip. So this is in that category. They've gone 9 unders, Jimmy. And despite Toronto flying over the total, a lot of that has to do with their own deficiencies. I expect them to give support to Jack Campbell. I expect Jack Campbell to be in net. And I actually am very close to making a move on the under. Not quite sure yet, Jimmy. That's the only move to make here for me on the under.
I feel uncomfortable with this spot. There are spots on this card. I've not made any bets so far. A lot going on. And I wanted to talk these games out before I made any moves. This is not a move I want to make. Let's move on. Are you making that under an official play?
Not yet.
Let's make this move up. Sabres, Rangers right now. Sabres, Rangers. Carter Hutton going to be back between the pipes. Who knows what's going to happen when Hutton's back there? But there's pressure on the Sabres. They're in the dressing room saying this is a different team, all this stuff, but it's the same story. They're getting beaten up when the teams are trying their hardest and the games mean the most. Second half of back-to-back, losing to the Red Wings 4-3 in the shootout. They're 1-4-1 over their last 6. And the Rangers are playing good hockey. The Rangers are playing good hockey. Kreider back from injury. Zibanejad rolling right now. Zibanejad 14 points over his last 14 games. Rangers consistently beat the Sabres. Should we just fire away at the New York Rangers here?
Well, let's see. That 3-man circus continues. Georgiev, Lundqvist, Shertikin. I think that I'm surprised Georgiev hasn't moved yet. But yeah, Carter Hutton on the road, Jimmy. Your guy who has turned over a new leaf. I guess the silver lining with Carter Hutton, he's played this Rangers team well, 4-2 with a 2.19 save percent or goals allowed. So he's been decent against these guys. Now with Buffalo giving Detroit its first win in 10 games, despite rallying a little bit, and probably without Dahlin, these Sabres, it's very difficult for me to angle any side on the Buffalo side of things. We know the Sabres are still an NHL team, and I imagine they're pretty fucking pissed, so it might be a first period look because the majority of the scoring in the last 5 games have come, or last 3 games since All-Star break, have come in that first period. In the Rangers, they are probably the most efficient defensive team, in my opinion. The way that I graph things on NHL and how I look at defenses, they're really bad. So a first period look might be a angle. For me, you know what I mean? Hutton, 9 wins. 2 of them are on the road. 2 of those 9 wins are on the road. The Rangers are feeling good about themselves. The Rangers are 3-0 against losing teams in the past couple of weeks, 11-7 at home. Our Buffalo team's 4-12 on the road. Give me the Rangers -1, Jimmy. Give me the Rangers -1, -113, because they have covered the puck line 5 out of 7 times that they have won in their last 7 games. Give me those Rangers, Jimmy.
I agree. The Sabres are buckling under the pressure. The Rangers are playing without any pressure. They weren't supposed to make the playoffs anyways. Kreider will likely get dealt, but there's no worries. No worries here in that dressing room. I think they're going to keep rolling right now. I agree with you on the Rangers -1, and I'm going to lock it in. There actually has been some money coming in on the Sabres, and, you know, NHL's been tricky lately. It wouldn't surprise me if the Sabres do step up. There's my guy, Matt Randall, in the house. I'm going to make a move with you. So let's grab the best what we can get right now. I did see, when I was thinking of pulling the trigger on this earlier this morning, my book was giving a -185 and +135 for the puck line. So that was giving me a -121, -1 spot. I'm going to get a little bit better now that I've waited. So let's see. Rangers, best I can get is at Bet Online at -164. So that's a -164. And then let's see what the best puck line we can get here right now. The best puck line we can get very quickly here is a +148 at 5 dimes. +148. That's pretty nice. I'm going to take that and run with it. Okay, let's keep rolling, and we got to be quick here. Red Wings, Blue Jackets. Merzlikins has been a monster. And the Columbus Blue Jackets have a difficult time scoring. I have a feeling that Howard can look okay in this game. I'm interested in this under 5.5. Do you think that's too risky with the Detroit Red Wings involved?
Fuck yeah, it's Jimmy Howard, Jimmy. Just because you guys share the same name don't mean you need to show him no support. This guy's terrible. I mean, congratulations to the Red Wings for taking care of these disheveled Sabres. I mean, the Sabres made it close, but I give props to Bernier more than anything. That's another terrible defensive team, the Red Wings, these young guys. Get it together, dudes. And we got the Red Wings probably celebrating. That was their first win in 10 games. Probably celebrating one of those grimy, dirty Buffalo bars. My beautiful ex-girlfriend, Nikki. Shout out to you, you dumb girl. Get out of fucking town. I'm sure you had fun with the crew over there at one of those bars you work at. Anyways, Jimmy, what am I talking about? Jimmy Howard, no thanks. No thanks. 4.7 goals on average allowed on the road, an .866 save percentage. Sure, the Columbus Blue Jackets have a hard time scoring. Jimmy Howard has allowed 4 or more goals in 8 of his 10 road starts. And despite Columbus, who's only exceeded that 4-goal mark 3 times in the last 10 games, this Red Wings team is probably so hungover, so happy to have won against the Buffalo Sabres and banged Nicky out. They're not even going to care about anything right now. Give me the this line is crazy. Give me those Columbus team total over 3.5. I don't even see it up, but I know it's going to be at 3.5. Give me the Detroit Red Wings team total under 2.5. Those are the 2 plays on this card right here, Jimmy.
I'm going to walk that line, that very, very dangerous line. Last time I didn't make the move, and then I did make the move right before puck drop, and you were absolutely right. I should have listened to you, not taking the over in that Bruins Blackhawks game. I'm not going to listen to you again, Poppy. I love you very much, and I respect your hockey capping enormously.
Rebel against him. Rebel, Jimmy. Fuck authority.
Under 5.5 at -105. Under 5.5 at -105 in the Red Wings Blue Jackets game. All right, let's we got to move on. Wild Stars. Not sure who will be between the pipes for the Wild right now, but we know Bishop will be there for the Stars. Do you think the Stars care about that 7-0 shellacking that the Wild gave them right before the All-Star break? That was an impressive 3-game trip through the New York area. The Stars almost swept it. Looked very good doing it. And the Wild on the second half of back-to-back after beating the after beating the Canucks 4-2 last night. So this is their 3rd game in 4 nights. 3rd game in 4 nights, and the Stars back off a road trip. Do you think the Stars roll here?
I don't know if we're going to see Capo Kapanen or if we're going to see Dubnyk, Jimmy, another one of your favorite goaltenders. I mean, The Wild coming out with a good game last night. That's cool. But, I hope Kudobin gets in net tonight. I think he's the better goaltender. Besides that, Ben Bishop is still good. He's 13-9 at home with a 93.4 goals saved, leaning heavily to the under as well. Now, it's good to see Dallas goals per game have increased as of recent, but that has come with some defensive sacrifices, which is something we don't want to see. Allowing more power plays, things like that, allowing more goals. So they're actually trending kind of over, even at home, but more so on the road. So I guess you could take that with a grain of salt. Now, the Wild stats are skewed extremely, just like you talked about, that 7-0 Stars beatdown. But, that was coming into the break. The Stars were feeling very comfortable. I really don't take anything away from that. You know what I mean? I mean, the Wild still have a chance in a playoff, but wild chance in hell. I don't think that's going to happen. But at the same time, this is probably going to be a competitive game. But the Stars need to be continuing to win against these divisional opponents and these weaker opponents at home in the Wild. So we're talking about a team on long rest. The Stars, Jimmy, the Stars on long rest, 2 days or more, 11-2 straight up. Playing against competition, playing down to competition, 13-12. It's a little skeptical, but I'm going to take the Stars here, Jimmy, with Rupe Hines back in the lineup. Give me the Stars in regulation, minus 123.
I get why you're making that move. I've been quite impressed with what the Wild have done in the last couple nights. I do imagine they're tired. I think this probably is the look. You are probably on the right look. I'm not going to back the Stars fresh off of returning from an impressive road trip, but I know why. I get why you're doing it. I'm going to put a limit on my action right now. That's going to be my card. I'm going to take the Rangers -1 and the under 5.5 in Red Wings Blue Jackets. Would you review your action, Parlay Poppy, one more time for us?
Right. So we're going to, once those totals come out on Columbus, we're taking the Columbus team total over and the Red Wings team total under. We're also going on the Stars in regulation and also with Jimmy, the Rangers -1.
I love it. Poppy, very thankful to have you as a friend and a friend for life. I can't wait to be out there in Los Angeles hanging with you. And thank you for everything that you've done for the show, my man. Much love to you and can't wait to meet up in Vegas soon.
My man, Jimmy, it's been a pleasure. Speaking of Vegas, I'm out here for a work project for about 6.5 months. So that means my career might end because I'm in the city of sin, Jimmy. The limits are higher. I don't have to use a satellite if I want to place a big boy bet. I might be wandering the streets, begging for Coors Light, soliciting foreign tourist women to pay me for something because I'm so broke because I'm burning all my bucks on the college basketball. But I hope that doesn't happen. I hope I just have fun out here. But I'm in Vegas. Holler at your boy for 6.5 months. To all you low baggers, love 99.9% of you. Some of you guys just go fuck yourself. Besides that, peace out. My guys, much love, Jimmy. I'll see you soon and talk to you real soon.
Okay, there he is.
And Poppy_Parlay. Holler at your boy. Peace
there
out.
He is, Parlay Poppy. Parlay Poppy. We go right from Parlay Poppy to the Big Ragu, the legend, the Big Ragu, joining us on this Friday morning. Ragu, how you doing, my man?
What's happening, Jimmy? How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I know that there's going to be times where we get more emotional during this show. There's times where we focus on the happiness, times we focus on the capping. It's going to be a wild ride for the next hour, I imagine. But I'm very thankful to have you on this final Betting with the Bag show. And you are going to a giant horse race on Saturday. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, it's the Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has their racing festival the first weekend in February for about a month. All the Derby trial races. They got one going Saturday. It's called the Sam F. Davis. There's a couple nice horses coming in. Some riders are coming in. Joe Rosario's coming in. Velasquez is coming in. Jose Ortiz is coming in. And Jose Ortiz is on a big-time horse, Independence Hall. You guys keep a lookout for this horse going forward. He's out of a horse called Constitution. And Constitution is all the rage right now as far as breeding goes. Everybody's trying to buy that stock up. But anyways, the horse race is big. But, man, I want to reminisce with you for a little while, man. We could talk about the horses, later on. But I'm going to give you my 8 minutes, and then, we're not sending you off, Jimmy. We're just sending you to a different spot. We're sending you to the 6. We're sending you to the Queen City, and you best believe I'm going to come up there and hang out with you.
Oh man, yes, and I will come down. I even think that I maybe should try to even come down for the Tampa Bay Derby as well. But yes, now that I'm going to be back on North American soil, we have to have low bag meetups often. So as soon as I'm back, we should start planning one out. I know a lot of people want Atlantic City. We'll definitely be doing it on the east somewhere on the east, northeast too, because that's the spot we haven't done yet. But Raghu, you and Kelly mean so much to me, and I consider you family, man, and I'm very, very, very thankful to have you guys in my life, and we will be meeting up in Vegas with Parlay Poppy. I can't wait till he tells you guys what he's doing out there, because it's fucking wild. And we will be meeting up on the East Coast, Raghu. Man, it's just my life has changed so drastically in the last 2.5 years, and it's because of friends like you, Raghu. With this big horse race, do you think we were going to see a couple horses from this race be in the Kentucky Derby?
This race here is basically a prequel to the Tampa Bay Derby. So the winner that comes out of this race are the top 2 horses. They're going to be heavily favored in the Tampa Bay Derby. And the Tampa Bay Derby is a big horse race. We've had some winners most recently. Always Dreamin' came out of that race to win the Derby. And it's a nice looking race. We get some pretty good Tacitus ran in that race, even though he didn't win the Derby. He's a big Triple Crown threat. So a lot of prominent horses will be involved. There's a horse, like I said, Independence Hall is one I like. And there's a horse from your neck of the woods up in Woodbine. The horse's name is Chapaloo. This horse is ran on the artificial surface up there. The horse is 2-1 in 3 races. He's ran on dirt. He's ran on the artificial surface. He's ran on the turf. He's won. And first time on dirt, but he's a real nice horse. He's trained by Arnaud Declore, and he's going to be ridden by the local jock, Daniel Settino, which is a nice local jockey. But I look at him, and I look at Independence Hall, and possibly and by the way, the number on that Chapaloo is number 8, and the number on Independence Hall is number 4. But there's one other horse I like at a Tapatura, Premier Star. He's going to be ridden by John Velasquez. He's a nice-looking horse trained by Jorge Navarro out of Gulfstream. 2 for 2 in Gulfstream. That sounds familiar, like a horse named Maximum Security.
Very exciting. I will be making moves here. I will be making moves on this race. Will you be tweeting out your action?
Yeah, I'll be doing some Periscope videos. I'll do a live. I'll be putting them on Twitter. They'll be coming out live to you on Saturday. I'll be down there for the bigger races. I'm not going to be there for the whole card. Probably from the 5th, 6th race on to the end. So yeah, I'll be tweeting out my plays. I did pretty well last year down at the this event and the Tampa Bay Derby. So that's my home track for right now.
I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And yes, this race is on Saturday at Tampa Bay Downs. Tampa Bay Downs this Saturday. What else are you looking at on this card tonight?
I looked at the card, and I've got one play on the college hoops. Yesterday, I didn't do too good. I had the Bucks first quarter and first half. They shit the bed, and I knew better. I shouldn't have messed with the NHL on that Tampa Bay Pitt. I took the over 6.5. I knew it was going to be tough to get there. I should have stood with the team total I liked. But anyways, today we're looking at the premier game on the board today. We're talking Illinois and Maryland. Early in the year, they met up back in Maryland when Maryland was ranked 3rd. Maryland squirrels out a victory by 1 point. And there's nothing more bigger in sports, in my opinion, in a home court advantage or home field advantage than college basketball. Now, we know that Maryland's higher ranked than Illinois here, but Illinois is a different team at home. Maryland they're both averaging about 70 points a game, in the mid-60s on the defensive side of the ball. I think Maryland is going to be up against it here. It's the first time they played a ranked opponent away from home, and Illinois playing in Champaign is going to be real exciting tonight. They're both playing for the top spot in the Big Ten, so this is a huge game. Be a fun game to watch. At first, I was more into the side with Illinois, laying the 3 points, 2.5, whatever you get. But you know what? The total, it opened up at 134 and it had an instant drop to like 128. So a big time move on the total to the under. But I like the contrarian play here. I think both teams will probably hit, at least the mid 60s in the points. And possibly it could be an overtime type game. So I'm going to go with the over in the Illinois-Maryland game.
We have the over coming in on 9th ranked Maryland up against 20th ranked Illinois. The over, and Ragu's right, this total has dropped. So you can get a 129 at Bookmaker, 129.5 at a bunch of other books. Over. Big Ragu giving us the over in Maryland, Illinois. I love it, Ragu. And this is the end of my show here in Costa Rica, but we are just getting started, my friend, and I can't wait to be capping with you moving forward.
Absolutely. Listen, like I was telling people, we're not coming to your funeral, Jimmy. We're sending you just to a different spot. You're going to be doing a live chat. You're going to have the show. So we're celebrating your move. This is a celebration of your progression and your success. So hats off to you, my boy. If you ever need anything, I'm just a yell away. So we love you, and we're going to continue to love you. And guess what, chat? We're still going to be here. We ain't going nowhere. You just keep watching for all the content. We're still going to put you guys on winners. Don't worry about that.
I love it. There he is, the Big Ragu. Follow him on Twitter at Big Ragu62. We go right from Big Ragu. You guys have been asking, what is the Taint play of the day? Well, now you get to see Matt Randall in live, almost live, on video. Matt Randall sent us in a video, and I'm so excited to have it on this show. So without further ado, Matt Randall, star of the Taint play of the day. Take it away.
What's up, guys? Matt Randall coming to you on the last day of betting with the bag. Man, I got a lot of mixed emotions, but first and foremost, I'm just so happy for Jimmy, man. He gets to go back to Toronto and do his thing, and, he's going to be great. He's going to be great at everything he does. So he's been our fearless leader for a long time and a real good friend of mine. So, the reason why I don't give out my picks. Like, I don't sell my picks. The only place you get my picks is on the show, Betting with the Bag. I do that because the show gave me so much personally. The show, through my toughest times, my son was born on the show, and then, when he was a month old, he had, some medical issues where he had to get opened up, and it was an extremely difficult time. We didn't know what was going to happen or how things were going to go, and possible cancer, and the show brought it all together, man, for me. And I just tuned in when I was in the hospital every day for 11 straight days. I was tuning in and just talking to everyone in the chat and this family, this low bag family that we created was helped me get through that times and the thoughts and prayers, man. And that's why I get back to Betting with the Bag, and that's why I only give out my plays on Betting with the Bag. It's the only place you're gonna find my plays. And that's why I did that. It's because I want to work so hard to give back to you guys, because you guys did so much for me. And that's what the world should do, man. That's what the world should do. We need more good people in the world. And Jimmy's definitely one of them. And I got through it because of you guys. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. I appreciate the friendships we built. I just want to thank SBR real quick, because without them, none of this would have been possible. Really appreciate everything that they have done and allowed us to do, and come together. Where else can you have the best show on YouTube, the best show on the planet? I mean, we constantly, day in, day out, just freaking leche those bookmakers. You know what I'm saying? And without SBR, that wouldn't have been possible. So thank you, SBR, for that. Oddly enough, I don't know how much of the show I'm going to catch today, because my son is, we're going to take him to a checkup, and the appointment's at 11 o'clock. We're just making sure that the mass isn't growing back and everything's healing up fine. And I don't know if I'm going to make it. I might catch the latter part of it. But I wanted to give out my video today. Taint player of the day has been fire. I want to end it. Yesterday we gave out plus 265 money line that hit in Eastern Kentucky, and then our Taint player of the day hit for the 8 out of 9 times. And I want to finish the last 2 weeks going 9 out of 10 with the Taint. That would be a perfect, topping to the show and what I could give back to the show. And so today, Taint play of the day, we're going to go Northern Illinois money line. Or you can take the points if you want, whatever you decide for your bankroll. I'm going to be on the money line. They went to Kent State and beat them by 6 or 7 earlier this year. They win this game, they'll be co-leaders of the MAC West, because Central's going to lose to Buffalo tonight. So that'll make them tied for the standings. They're the hotter team. They're playing at home. My opinion, they got the better player on their team. Best player is going to be on their team that's on the floor. Yeah, I'm Northern Illinois all day. That's the Taint play of the day. To the chat, thank you guys very much. You guys are a huge part of my life. Hit me up on Twitter if you ever want to, chat. I don't know if the Taint's going to die today or not. I don't know. That's going to be up to Jimmy. Maybe we'll put something in place. But this is probably going to be the last pick, and I'd like to go 9-1. Matt Randall, I'm out of here. Jimmy, thank you, bud. I appreciate everything you did. I appreciate the support. I love you, man.
So Matt is at the hospital right now with more important than that. So let's all just take a second. And we have no volume. Oh, we're back volume. Okay. Shit. Okay, sorry. I was just saying, audio issues. We're good. No voices. Can't hear you. No volume. All right. Are we back with volume? All right, back now. Okay. Sorry, I was just saying that. What we need to do right now is we know that Briggsy is one strong little man, and he's going to be all good. But it's important for us all to just send as much positivity and light over to the Briggs family. They're in the hospital right now, and just as much positivity and light to big bad Briggsy. And we know that Briggsy's going to get a clean bill of health. So if all you guys could just send that love and positivity and light over to the Randall family. And Matt Randall's brought so much to this show, and we love him dearly, and another friend for life. I'm immediately tailing the Taint play of the day as well. Northern Illinois money line at plus 120. Northern Illinois at plus 120. And the Taint will never die. The Taint became the most popular play on the show, and the Taint will live on and be strong, because we need Taint in our lives badly. So Taint will live on. We're going to go right from Matt Randall to our guy, Al Mack, coming to us live from Toronto, Ontario. Al Mack, who will be my drinking buddy very soon. Al Mack, how are you doing on this Friday morning?
Hey, I'm good. It's a somber affair for some people here, but I think it's just a celebration, man. We're celebrating what you did down in Costa Rica, showing those people how to do things properly, and now you're just coming back. So, nothing's changing. The format's changing. So we'll talk about that as we go.
Yes, the format is changing, and I'm looking forward to be in Toronto, in the same city as you, Al Mack. First off, congratulations on how you handled that Rockets-Lakers game. Smash, Rockets plus, the overs, everything cashed for you. Great work, great capping. What are you focusing on today?
I've only really focused on NBA, but just listening to you talk to Poppy and now seeing this, the Ducks and the Leafs, If Campbell plays, I really like that first period under. I know that Ryan Miller has played the Leafs historically well. He knows that building. He knows that crowd. It'll probably be popping if Campbell does play. So I like the first period under because, like I always say, or like what you said the other day, this is their Stanley Cup playoffs for the Ducks. And this is a city where a lot of guys originate their hockey from. So, people are going to be a lot of friends and family in the stands. And I noticed just from going to a lot of these games that there's just a weird energy at the start of the period. So I really like the first period under there.
First period under. I know you've been cashing with them quite a lot. So first period under, Almac's first look on this card. First period under in Leafs Ducks. What else are you looking at?
Okay, so yeah, we'll just quickly go to NBA. I'll just quickly go over the plays that the plays that I'm just making based on my systems. The Kings 18-6 to the under in the first quarter when at home this season. So I really like that first quarter under. I think it's going to open at 56.5. I don't see it anywhere yet so far. But I see it at like William Hill and places like that at 56.5. So as soon as it pops up at one of my books, I'm going to take that. And then also the Mavericks. The Mavericks are 19-5 ATS first half on the road this season. I think they smash Washington here, but I'm more comfortable getting involved with the first half, minus a half at minus 110. But then also you look at their extremely impressive 17-5-2 ATS full game on the road. So it's going to be probably a full unit on the first half and then a half unit on the full game. Dallas -2 at minus 110. I think that line is a little bit off.
Dallas -2 and minus 110. And what was the first quarter under?
No, first quarter first quarter under 56.5. It just it hasn't come out like at any of the places that SBR uses, so on my article I wasn't able to give it out at what I wanted to, but I saw it pop up at William Hill 56.5 at minus 116. So I'm going to be on that once it pops up at like Pinnacle closer to minus 110.
Sounds good. We got two looks on the NBA card from Al Mack. Al Mack, are you looking at anything else on this card?
Yeah, man, I'm going to go right back with the Rockets. I think this is a spot where I just think they're getting disrespected, man. Harden didn't play well last night, but Westbrook filled the void, 41 points on his own. I just think this team, they're just getting disrespected in the market. You look at a thing that I think is in our favor if you're on the Rockets with the disadvantage. They're with the rest disadvantage. They're 3-8 ATS. But then you look at the Suns. When the Suns face a team on a back-to-back so far this season, they're 5-11-1 ATS. I just think it's one of those, the stars have a line type plays. Phoenix 7-19 ATS in the first half at home, 19-32 ATS in the first half overall. Meanwhile, the Rockets 31-20 ATS in the first half. And then again, I'm ignoring that fact that the Rockets 3-8 ATS on the second half of a back-to-back, simply because the Suns have been terrible when facing teams in that scenario. The Suns a 10-15-1 ATS at home this season. The Rockets 17-9 ATS in the first quarter, and then 29-21-1 ATS in the first quarter overall. I just think that they're going to crush them in every single way this game. I think the line's off. Give me the Rockets first half, first quarter, and full game. And then I also again, I'm going to go first quarter under 60.5, and then first half over 120.5. I just see these games starting off slow and then picking it up in the second quarter.
And we expect there to be no Westbrook in the lineup. Has that been announced officially yet?
I haven't looked, but I've noticed that some money has come in on the Suns, so I do expect that might be the case.
Yeah, that he hasn't played the back-to-back all season. I don't see him doing that now, so we might be able to get a bit of a better line if we wait. The Rockets clearly enjoying what Morey has done with no player on the floor over taller than 6'7". exciting look. Robert Covington fits in really nice with these guys. Suns look terrible. Rockets. So are you doubling up first half full game?
First quarter, first half, full game.
Wow. First quarter, first half, full game for these Houston Rockets. What's next, Al?
That's it for me for the NBA. So I just want to talk about this Wilder Fury fight. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I believe it pops off, the 22nd? Is that right? I believe it's the 22nd, coming up in a couple weeks. So, and the idea here from the chat, we had our Eric Nisbet come in the chat, say you've got to back Wilder. You've got to take Wilder. You're getting him at almost even money. I haven't looked at what the odds are right now, but our Eric Nisbet likes Wilder. What do you think of that look?
I think you got to go Fury, man. I just don't see. I think anytime I've watched boxing since I was a little kid, I've followed boxing my whole life. Anytime with heavyweight fighters in a rematch, very, very rarely does the older fighter come back and perform how he did in the first fight. So I think that the over is a good look in this. Since 2009, the over has gone 13-5 in WBC heavyweight title fights. So I really like the over, and I really like the fight to go to the decision. And I'm not going to bet it yet because I think that you can still get some solid money on Fury at plus money. So I welcome the Wilder money to come in, but I think Fury wins by decision overall.
Wow. Fury by decision. And now we have people in the chat backing it as well. Abby Gold saying Fury schools Wilder. 420 Fuego calling Pillow Hands Fury right there. But Paul Costa, whale bet on Wilder. Wow, very, very. And Stelio Contos also liking Fury. I can't wait till we talk more and more about this. Boston Nick, our guy, Mr. Fatfist, who will have a video on today's show saying Fury should outbox him, especially after already knowing his power and footwork. And great to see you, cater you by Chef Jeff. Thank you so much for joining us. Paul Costa saying Wilder with a brutal KO in the 8th. Wow, I love that look. Very interesting. So over. And the fight to a decision, and Fury by decision from our Al Mac. Al Mac, will you be writing an article on this fight?
Yeah, I already wrote a first look article on it earlier in the week, and with the Wilder side, I don't think it's a bad side, but for me, I think he's got to get it done in the first 3 rounds. So I'm probably going to bet Wilder between round 1 and 3 for 10-1, and then the rest will be on Fury by decision. But I don't doubt Wilder can knock him out, but I think he has to do it right away.
I love these looks. Very, very, very interesting. We'll be talking about this fight for the next couple of weeks. Al Mac, thank you so much for joining us and everything that you've put into this show. Original low bagger you are, and I've been honored to work with you and can't wait to be in the same city as you, my friend. Follow this man on Twitter at SparkAlMac. Al, thank you so much for being on this final show, man.
Yeah, man, just really quickly, listen, to all the viewers, as long as SBR has Jimmy and myself and Sports Keg and the Live Line and Max and Ian and Jay Money and Clint and Donnie, everything, nothing's changing. Just stay on board, be on board, because these are the best people in the business, and people pretend to be something that they're not, but we don't. We're honest. We'll continue to be honest. And so I wish everyone good fortune. But, watch the show, continue to support SBR. It's the best thing on YouTube. And, yeah, man, I'll see you very soon. We'll get a drink or two very shortly.
I love it. There he is, Al Mac, joining us. Al Mac's looks, Dallas -2, and the first quarter under 56.5, and then tripling up on the Rockets. First quarter, first half, full game, liking over in the fight to go to a decision, and Fury by decision, also going to somewhat hedge that by taking Wilder in the first 3 rounds. All right, we go right from Al Mac to Teddy Covers, coming to us live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Teddy Covers, how you doing on this Friday morning, my man?
I'm kind of bummed, Jimmy. I'm not going to lie. I've had better mornings. All that said, the show goes on. So while this is you and I have both been around SBR long enough to know sometimes things change, things get shifted up. The show goes on. So please, if you're worried, we'll be here in one form or another. And I'm really excited to see what your next project is, Jimmy. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So all that being said, I'm okay. How about you?
It's funny. We had a going away party last night, and I was very honored with everybody showing up, and it was fun. And then the losses just started rolling in for me. And then here we are. My bread and butter has been NHL. Because I got to a high watermark that first year, plus 43 units, and if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have stayed here. My baseball was so atrocious, and then to be sitting here on my low watermark in NHL on the last day, it's just like the capping gods will never cease to mess with you. There's highs and lows, but it's funny. It's an emotional time, but it's also a time where I'm just so thankful for all these relationships that I've made, and getting a chance to cap with you on an everyday basis has been extremely enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to hammering it one more time, very, very much. We've got to look at a few spots from Al Mack on this card, but I would like to break down these NBA games with you one final time on this show, and I can't wait to cap more NBA with you. It's been extremely enjoyable. Have you got to the window with any looks on this NBA card, Teddy?
3. I made 3 bets so far today. 2 on the same game. And the first one is the very first game. I laid 2 with Dallas at Washington. I got the Mavs 15-4 ATS off a loss. And since Luka has been out, I've been looking to be on Dallas, particularly off a loss. I like Jalen Brunson. I think Jalen Brunson's an undervalued commodity. And DeLone Wright at the backup is okay. It's not like they're hopeless at the point with Luka on the lineup. And I understand that the Wizards got Hachimura back. I understand they got Wagner back. Washington is what they are. The good teams will come into D.C. and beat them, and I expect that's what Dallas is going to do tonight. So I laid 2 with the Mavs. I also took 1 with the Indiana Pacers, Indiana +1. And I played the over 218 in that game. Let me get that quote real quick. First of all, I want Toronto. I want to fade Toronto off the franchise winning streak. I want to fade Toronto off their come from behind against the same Pacers team earlier in the week where they stole the game by 1 point. I mean, this is Indiana's game, and this is Toronto's exhale spot. Here's a quote from Malcolm Brogdon. It was on us, talking about the loss, talking about the Raptors 31-7 edge in fast break points. It was on us. We just weren't organized. We don't have a problem with pressure. We just struggled with it tonight. It wasn't a special press. We weren't organized in our spots. We didn't get the ball up the court fast enough. We didn't attack. You got to attack it, try to get a bucket or a layup on the other end. We were just trying to get it over half court. That quote tells me over. You understand? When you read a quote like that, the line, the total is set where it's supposed to be set based on all the math. When you have a key player on a team saying, hey, they pressed us and we didn't deal with it right, and today when they press us, we're going to attack it and go for easy buckets, boom, you put the over there. And I want Indiana off that loss. Good quote from Oladipo, who didn't shoot well again, but again, the quote, I felt like I played a little better Wednesday. I could actually feel my legs kind of getting under me, especially defensively. That's proactively. Oladipo's not going to stink forever. That's a bet on quote. And especially when he's saying defensively, we got it. And honestly, the Raptors are overachieving right now. You and I both know it, Jimmy. You'll see it when you go back there. They're a good team. I don't know they're the best team in the East, and they're being priced like the best team in the East right now. So I got Indiana, and I got over in the game against Toronto.
I can't wait to watch this game. I understand why you'd back the Pacers. I think the over is a nice look. It's funny. Raptors, franchise best record after 51 games. And you want to say Kawhi who, but we know that that's not the case at all. And that 12-game winning streak, the way Serge is playing right now, Siakam's playing right now, it's just like this team has a lot of belief in themselves. And if going over the numbers from that game, I mean, what Lowry did was spectacular. This starting five is it's so strong and can attack you in so many different ways. I can understand why you're backing the Pacers. I can understand that look, and I agree that the Raptors are going to have trouble with the Celtics and with the Bucks come playoff time, but we believe up north in these guys. We've fallen in love with these guys as people. And Oladipo looks bad. He looks out of place. Brogdon playing very well. I like your overlook. I like your overlook quite a bit. And I think I'll be making that move. And thank you, Jermel Wright. Much love to you, man. Low bagger for life. The over is a very appealing look. Over 218. Let's grab that right now. Over 218. I think I can get a better number. Let me just do that. Or sorry, a better juice. Let me see what the best juice I can get is. Over 218 at minus 108 at 5 dimes. I'll run with you on that. Over 218 at minus 108 in this spot. I like it. All right, let's touch on a couple different spots here that we haven't got to. We know that both Teddy and Almac are backing the Mavericks here this evening. Do you expect Porzingis to be in the lineup for that action?
I don't care. The early money's coming on Washington, which says that they don't expect Porzingis to play. I'm not worried if he plays or not. I'd rather him play, but I'm not worried if he plays or not.
All right. Why don't we talk about this Memphis Sixers game? Talking about quotes, and it's something I extremely enjoy when we cap together. Al Horford, there's some stuff going on in our locker room, and we'll all keep it internal. But we all know we need to be better. We need to step it up. This sounds fractured, very, very fractured. And then you have this Grizzlies team believing in themselves, and now have Deion Waiters, Justice Winslow, and James Johnson and Jordan Bell. Not entirely sure what they're going to do with those guys. But from our time in Toronto, we know that James Johnson is a quality guy to have in the locker room. But, showing up out of shape was a shocking thing that he did this year. Sixers on the second half of a back-to-back. They lose 112-101 last night at Milwaukee. Toby Harris, 25 points. Embiid, 19 and 11, but he shot 6 for 26. Wow. Grizzlies, Sixers. This total opened up at 222. It's now up to 223 and a half. From a pace perspective, the Grizzlies are slowing down their pace. They're now 14th in the association with 100.80 possessions a game. And Philadelphia opening up at minus 5.5 and now at minus 5, Teddy. What do you think here?
And my powering number on the game is only Philly minus 3.5. And I'll tell you flat out, right now, at some point the Sixers are likely to fix some of this. Right now, there's no way I'm laying points with Philadelphia. It's a Memphis or pass. And don't underestimate the minutes. The Sixers bench right now is depleted. All the starters played major minutes last night in Milwaukee. They're not going to be fresh here on the second of back-to-back. And they have been so good at home. And the home-road dichotomy hasn't gone anywhere. It's still as sharp as can be for the Philadelphia 76ers. But when you talk about two teams headed in opposite directions right now, two teams with very different levels of team chemistry right now, and the moves Memphis made, I don't know that I don't know they're going to get anybody in the lineup tonight for the trade deadline additions, but that makes them better. It'd be Memphis or pass. I want no part of laying points with Philadelphia. I'm not convinced it's a get right spot. I'm not convinced the Sixers have a get right spot in them between now and the All-Star break.
Yeah, the Sixers look fractured. There's no doubt about it. But I'm still hesitant to fade them at home where they're 22-2. Let's move on to Hawks, Celtics. Tatum just putting the Celtics team on his back. God, he's so good. What a steal. What a draft day steal for the Celtics. Man, that was a great move. Celtics have won 5 straight, 8 of 9. So Kemba Walker, knee soreness. Jaylen Brown, right ankle sprain. Gordon Hayward, sore left foot are all questionable. We've already had cappers in the chat say that Jaylen Brown is out. Daniel Theis, right ankle, he's out. Marcus Smart, Brad Wanamaker are probable. And then we have this Atlanta team with injuries and trades and all these things happening. This is a game with so many moving parts. And I feel very uncomfortable capping it. 234 the total opening. It's now 233.5. Pinnacle opened up the Celtics at 9, and now they're minus 10. You have any feel on this one?
Yeah, it's a tough game. It's a tough cap today. The latest info I have Kemba upgraded to probable. Marcus Smart upgraded to probable. Hayward downgraded to out. Brown downgraded to out. Williams and Theis also downgraded to out. They'll be missing 2 starters and a couple of rotation players. They will or should have, Walker and Smart in the backcourt. Worth noting, Atlanta off a win like they had in their last game, 2-11 straight up, 4-9 ATS. They've not been real good in these back-to-back settings, or coming off a victory, I should say. They haven't been able to string them together very often. But you're laying a big price here with a Celtics team that is significantly banged up, that has bigger fish to fry than beating the Hawks by margin. And I like every move Atlanta made at the trading deadline. I don't know who's going to be available tonight, but there weren't many teams that I upgraded my power ratings just based on what they did at the, mostly it was, hey, let's knock a point off of these guys. Hey, I got to adjust for this. Atlanta's, I think, one of the only teams. I bumped them a point. They have a front court now they didn't have before. I think they're going to be a money-making team down the stretch. Whether tonight's that night's another question. Tough game. I don't know who's playing for either squad. But in general, I've got a little bit of a buy sign on the Hawks right now. I think we might make money with them over the next couple of weeks.
I can't wait to watch them play as well. I'm very, very interested in them as a team. We have our J Money's Money in the chat liking the Hawks on the money line. Hawks on the money line from J Money is Money, aka Revenge Game J, who can be seen right here when this show ends. What a show he has there. Wow, Atlanta plus, oh man, he's giving out, you can get Atlanta plus 450 at 5 dimes. Talk about line shopping on money lines. Bovada plus 330. You get an extra $1.20 at Atlanta, or at 5 dimes, excuse me. All right, let's move on. I'm going to stay off this spot at this time, but man, hearing J Money liking Atlanta so much, I find very, very, very interesting. Let's move on to Blazers Jazz, Portland, Utah. Where is it here? There at the bottom. Let's move to spreads and totals here for Portland, Utah. Blazers pace last 10th, 101.5 possessions a game. Jazz 16th at 99.7 possessions a game. Portland on second half of a back-to-back after beating the Spurs 125-117 last night. I had a very close friend go to that game, and they took the Blazers, -3.5, but they also put a bet on, I don't mean to laugh, but they put a bet on DeMar DeRozan hitting 1 3-pointer at plus 525. The man hasn't taken a 3-point shot in 13 games and didn't again last night. Okay, Blazers, Jazz. Jazz let that 15-point third quarter get away from them in that loss at home to Denver. They're playing bad basketball. Is this a spot where they can wake up against the tired Blazers squad? Jazz 8.5-point favorites, Teddy.
My number's 6.5 on the game. I'm not in any rush to lay with Utah right now, and especially you're not laying a couple of points. You're laying 8.5 here. They got to win and win comfortably against a Blazers team that's playing their best ball of the season right now, motivated, veteran-laden. They understand the sense of urgency. And Utah, I'm not going to say they're fractured. At the end of the season, these growing pains will probably help them. But they're going through growing pains right now. And I've watched it over and over again. I thought Conley would be a perfect fit for Utah. And with Conley and Ingles on the floor, the offense doesn't flow. The Jazz go through these long stretches where they're settling for perimeter jumpers. They're not getting good looks at the basket. Donovan Mitchell's been in a little bit of a funk. It's Portland or pass. I'll leave it at that. There's no way I'm laying this price with Utah. And if Utah comes out tonight and annihilates them, so be it. We haven't seen that from the Jazz in the last couple of weeks, and I'm not going to bet that all of a sudden it shows up tonight. And again, you talked about last time out, they got a comfortable lead. They're feeling good. Boom, it's gone in an instant, in a flash. They're not the most confident team these days. You're looking for a long shot money line. Maybe you look at the Blazers plus. I think they're alive in the game. I would much rather have Portland than Utah here.
All right. Interesting spot there. We only have a couple other spots on the card. Our Almac very bullish on the Rockets at the Suns. Rockets going to be without Westbrook tonight. What do you think of that look?
I thought it was short. I thought that point spread was Houston's second of back-to-backs, 3 and 4 straight up and against the spread. There's nothing to be, there's nothing to make a move on or against the Rockets because they're second of back-to-backs. They certainly played well last night in LA, and this might be the exhale spot. But we talked about the Suns in the last game of the road trip at Detroit, and that was a step-up spot for Phoenix against a team that was very beatable. And Phoenix didn't show that game. They didn't show from the opening tip. They weren't. I thought they were going to come with energy. They were going to take over that con. And at no point did that burst come from the Suns. That concerns me, And now they're returning home off the bad road trip. The All-Star break next week. I'm not convinced we get I don't know what Phoenix's A game is right now. I'm not convinced we see it. And it does look pretty cheap on Houston tonight. That's the only way I would play it is Rockets minus. But again, it's a very public side. With the short road chalk, and you can get in trouble sometimes playing the public sides and short road chalk, but that's the only way I can play it. I do not want the Suns. And again, sometimes you go, all right, well, I thought they were going to step in Detroit, and then they didn't, and then the next time you're like, we're going to fade them, and they step up there. That's why I didn't pull the trigger here on the Rockets, because I bet against them. I mean, that's really frustrating when that does happen. But I don't like what I'm seeing, reading, or watching about the Phoenix Suns, and even without Westbrook, number looks fairly cheap for Houston.
It does, and we know the perils of road favorites in the NBA. Questions coming in, and we have Maxwell Smart coming in shortly, and a lot of people talking about how J Money is on the Hawks plus the points. He also did write Atlanta Hawks straight up in the chat. I didn't just pull that out of thin air. But I hear you guys. I'm sure he likes both. Final game on the card, Heat Kings. We know there'll be no Butler for these Heat, and trades, moves being made. Iguodala, Crowder, Solomon Hill coming in. I'm sure Iguodala won't be playing, but trades coming in for the other side for the Kings. I mean, they bring in Bazemore earlier. Jabari Parker's there. Alex Len will be there too. Rashawn Holmes expected back after missing 13 games with a strained right shoulder. Last game on the NBA card, Teddy, Miami, Sacramento. Sacramento opening up as a favorite, Miami opening up as a 1.5-point favorite, and now Sacramento 1-point favorite. What do you think of this spot?
I could only play Miami. I mean, everybody's tempted by Miami right now. There's not a person that I talk to about NBA or email with or anything that's like, I'm tempted by Miami tonight in this pick'em range. Of course, worth noting, Miami coming off a loss. They're 15-1 straight up, 14-2 ATS, following a single defeat. So they've been pretty darn good in this particular role. But it's a Heat, again, without Jimmy on the floor tonight, and it doesn't look like Butler's going to play. There's a lot of moving pieces for Miami. We like Spoelstra. We don't like Walton. When it comes to which coach do we trust to make quick adjustments, it'd be, Spoelstra before Walton in a New York minute. And I probably would have been on Miami here if it wasn't for Holmes coming back. Holmes is a different maker for Sacramento in the low post. He's one of these guys, and I love to highlight players like Rashawn Holmes because he doesn't move the point spread and he absolutely effective. They're much better with him on the floor. Now they got Alex Len and Jabari Parker, and who knows who's going to play where and when. So they may have some low post depth there that they haven't had. But Holmes is an impact player for the Kings. I don't know if he's going to be in rhythm. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get tonight. I can only play Miami, but I didn't pull the trigger on Miami.
Yeah, I've not pulled the trigger on much. Just tailed that first look. I'm going to spend some more time on this card in the afternoon. But the only move I've made, I tailed the over in that Pacers-Raptors game, tailing that over. Teddy on Pacers +1 and the over. He's also on the Dallas Mavericks. Did you get to the window with anything in NCAA basketball, Teddy?
I have not, although I'll tell you what. I'm tempted by VCU at 8.5. 9's the prevailing numbers. A couple 8.5s out there against Davidson. I think that's a real good matchup for VCU. They're forcing teams into turnover, and Davidson is not valuing possessions. So I'm tempted by VCU, but I've not pulled the trigger yet.
Tempted by VCU, but not pulled the trigger. Teddy, it saddens me that this is our last show together for now. Yeah. I will be doing whatever I can to work with you moving forward. I just want to thank you for all the hard work and insights that you brought to the show, the professionalism. You brought so much to the show on so many different levels, and we all, low baggers everywhere, have been so thankful. You've been an enormous addition to us and for us, and we love you very much, Teddy. Thank you for everything.
It's been a highlight of my day every day I've done the show, dude. I love working with SBR. The low baggers have, win or lose, low baggers have been. There's no hate when you lose, and I really appreciate that. You have no idea. Sometimes the hate gets thrown around in this business. But more than anything, Jimmy, I like you, man. You're a good guy. I've liked you from the first time I met you. I expect us to do something again in the future. When do you leave? When are you flying out? You flying out this weekend? You flying out tonight?
Yeah, I fly out tonight.
Wow. So this is it, man. It's like here to the airport.
Yeah.
Remember this time. It'll be your time. How many years were down there? You're down there for 4 years or something, weren't you? 3, 4?
2.5 years down here.
You're it feels like 100. It'll be a time you remember till the day you die. And I'm sure you'll be crying on the plane, brother. Nothing but love. And I look forward to talking to you soon and working with you down the road. And thanks, low baggers. Again, we'll be here on SBR. We'll figure something out. It's all good. We're not going away. Thank you, Jimmy. And thank you, low baggers. I've really appreciated this opportunity.
What a guy. There he is, Teddy Covers. Follow him on Twitter at Teddy_Covers and follow every and all content that Teddy does. Thank you, guys. This has been just a very special show, and it means so much to us. So thank you guys so much. We go right from Teddy Covers to Maxwell Smart. Max, my man, how are you doing on this Friday morning?
I think that the sentiment is definitely shared by me. That was shared by all the other great low baggers already today in the chat and on the show. And yeah, I'm upset. So I'm just going to leave it at that and just say how much I appreciate you, how much you've guided me, how much you have shown me the way in this business, and I look forward to being able to see you on a regular basis.
Yeah,
I have a bottle of Jameson for you.
That is one of the things I'm extremely excited about, is getting a chance to hang with you on a daily basis. You've had great success with these small Friday cards. You destroyed the small Monday card that we just had, and you've had great success on these Friday cards. I'm taking a look at your action. We have no official plays. VCU. Okay, sorry, we do have official plays. My fault. There we go. Official plays. I'm seeing him now. The official plays started with Illinois at -2.5. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell us a little bit why you're back in Illinois here.
Listen, this is a number that just suits the quality and style and the pace that I expect in this game. I had Illinois as a 4.5-point favorite. I thought that when the line opened at 2, it was a good number. At 2.5, I still thought that it had enough value to warrant a bet. Maryland's been hot. They've been able to win on the road, but it's who they've gone in and beat on the road that concerns me in this matchup. I think that when you look at Illinois, they are going to be able to limit the transition penetration from guys like Daryl Morcell and Anthony Cowan. I think that the size that Illinois has on the perimeter is also going to be beneficial. And when I look at Illinois defensively, this is a team that can guard without fouling. This is a team that does a good job of help defending, and I think tonight Maryland's going to be able to I think Maryland's going to have a little bit of trouble getting what they want inside. They're going to be forced to the outside, and that's going to lead to an under and an Illinois win and cover.
We have Illinois -2.5 on -110. Also, I'm going to put it out on Twitter tomorrow, but I've enjoyed keeping your record so much. It's a little painstaking with the quantity of plays, but I love kind of going through the ride with you, Max, and I really felt a part of your action because I'm the one putting them in, and it's been very enjoyable. So, Rafa, can we put up Max's overall record right now? He's coming off of a 12-13 day, down 2.03 units. That's his overall record. That's spectacular work with such a huge quantity of plays. And I've enjoyed that very much. And Max is on the board. Max is on the board with Illinois right now. Illinois, let's see what we're getting. Max got in at -2.5, and that's gone. Threes now, a 3.5 of Bovada. Make sure that you follow our Maxwell Smart on Twitter so you can be ahead of the game and beat these market moves. And thank you guys, truly thank you guys for all the kind words that you're saying in the chat. It means so much to me, and you guys mean so much to me, and just very, very thankful. Let's move on to the next look. You are on the Princeton Cornell under. This opened up at Pinnacle 135.5. It's now at 134. Now, if you got in nicely at 136, why are you on Princeton Cornell under, Max?
Yeah, my numbers really liked this opener, so I hit it right when I was able to. And the bottom line is with this Princeton team, whether they're on the road or they're at home, they are going to slow you down because of how slow and deliberate they play on offense. I think that you always have to worry about them being hot shooting, but against Cornell, I think that they're going to have a little bit of trouble getting their offense going. And if you look at the over-under margins for what they've done recently, well, the under definitely has a little more validation and was a play that I thought that was worthy making official.
And you beat the market move there. You beat it handily. All right, let's see what else Max has made official. VCU under 137 at -108. Why are you on VCU under?
Yeah, this is a spot where I think that we're going to have a little bit of reversal of scoring from the first matchup. I think that when you look at VCU, they definitely have the offensive pieces to score against you, but I think that Davidson's has to play a slow tempo game where they're guarding without fouling, and if they have to, resort to a zone. With Davidson, free throw shooting hopefully comes into play and helps them out as far as scoring with the shot clock stopped instead of hitting 3-point shots, which at 36% you always have to worry about. I think that both teams are going to be able to play good 3-point defense against each other, and by my numbers, I had this game at 132.5, and at 137, well, it makes sense. So when I see that kind of value, sometimes I have to just stop using my brain and just trust what the numbers are telling me.
I get it. I absolutely get it. A VCU under right now. And those are the official plays that Max has already tweeted out. He is tailing Matt Randall's Northern Illinois, but on a personal level, not as an official betting with the bag play. Let's start rocking through this card and see if there are any additions for you. We have Harvard-Yale coming up early. This comes up at 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Pacific. Harvard-Yale. Yale opening up at -6.5, now 5.5, and a couple sixes. Bovada Heritage. Total opens up at 136.5, now 137, Max. Harvard-Yale.
As soon as I saw this game and saw this line, I was like, well, if Harvard and Yale are playing and there's no Bryce Aiken and there's no Seth Towns, I'm definitely going to be getting on Yale at home. Not only have they been the most profitable ATS team in college basketball by some of my numbers, I think that they covered this game by 6 points. So although Harvard has played a lot different, more balanced, lot less isolation with no Bryce Aiken, I do think going up against a experienced Jordan Bruner and Paul Atkinson, that's going to be a problem for the Harvard front court. I think that now without having Bryce Aiken, it puts a lot more questions on who's hot in a particular game, and that's not really a formula that I want to follow with my money to the window. So when I look at this Yale spot, it's Yale -5.5 full game, or just leave it alone.
All right, I like it. Yale.
So I'll make that official. Yeah.
Oh, you will make it official. Okay.
Yeah. That's an
Sweet.
official one.
And thank you, Prince of the City, for sharing your Stripper Palooza play of the day. Prince of the City, he eats with tennis, and we need to get him live on the show. I hope to be able to figure out how to make that happen in the new show. Okay, we're taking Yale. I can give you a -5.5 at -108.
Yep, that works for me.
Yale -5.5 at -108. All right, let's start heading through this. Dartmouth Brown. Brown opening up at -4.5, now 3.5 at Pinnacle. 128.5 total, now 129 max. Dartmouth Brown.
Yeah, this is a spot where I was looking at the over, but then I backed off of it. Pretty much, I think that Brown needs to limit their turnovers versus Dartmouth, because Dartmouth, let's face it, this is a slow tempo offense that really relies on shooting the 3-point bucket, which they're just not very good at. When you look at some of their continuity and some of their personnel, yeah, definitely thought that there was going to be more expected from like a Canadian like Aaron Ray. But when you lose your point guard at the beginning of the season and you don't have someone to fill in, and James Foy, he's just not done the job that you would expect, it's had a major impact on the offense and the fluidity of it. I think that with Brandon Anderson and Tamang Chow at home, you're not playing Yale, you're playing a team that you can beat. And I think that Brown, as a 4.5-point favorite, is worth the play, and I'll make it official for the show. I'm not going to make a play on the total, but if it keeps on going, south, I'm going to hit it when it hits its lowest.
All right, let me give that for you right now. Paulo Marquez, my man, I'll answer that question here in a second. I can give you Brown at -3.5 at -112.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's even better.
Brown -3.5 at -112. That is available at Pinnacle. All right, Pennsylvania, Columbia. Columbia sitting here as a 5.5-point home dog. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm actually waiting to see how high this line goes, and then I'm going to try and jump on the under, just go against the line movement. As far as the side, it's hard for me to look at Pennsylvania on the road doing anything. I'd probably be looking at Columbia at +5.5, but nothing official for the show. All
right, and yes, Paulo, I'm going to be still with SBR on this show that pops off next Wednesday. Next Wednesday at 11 a.m. will be the first show. All right, let's keep rolling through here, Max. We got a little bit of time to do this. Pennsylvania. Oh, sorry, we just hit that. My fault. And we know that you're on the under in Princeton, Cornell. Next up, Canisius Ryder. Ryder 7.5-point favorite, 7 at a couple books. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is a spot where I got to look at Canisius, because I don't want to play a whole bunch into my cap that like the first meeting meant the most to me. My numbers, first off, like this spot for Canisius. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but they do stay within 2 or 3 buckets of it. I think that when you look at this Canisius team, definitely have had a little bit of a losing streak since that Ryder win, and they have been playing more the offense that we expected in the beginning of the season. I think that they're able to up the tempo tonight against Ryder. We've seen that Ryder can get a little sloppy and a little irresponsible with the basketball. And if you don't have Tyree Marshall, that makes a big difference once again. This is a spot where I think that Canisius can maybe fall a little behind in the first half, because we've seen them struggle a little bit in first halves. But I do think that with the personnel and Scott Hitchinson playing a lot better, and Malik Johnson doing what he's done, leading the team, being a really good floor general, I think that they're going to be ready for Ryder's tempo, knowing what they already played against. And I think that they're going to be able to stay within the numbers. So I'll take Canisius +7.5.
+7.5. I can give you +7.5 at -108 at 5 dimes. Let's get that.
Yeah, that.
Canisius +7.5 -108 at 5 dimes. Okay, let's keep rolling through this card. Next up, Fairfield, Siena. Siena open up as 8.5 favorites at home, now 8 or 7.5 at Heritage. Do you agree with this market move towards Fairfield? What do you think here?
Yeah, I agree with the market move. I think that when you look at Fairfield, you always forget that Jesus Cruz is playing that six-man role, and he plays starter minutes. This is the guy that's going to shoot a good percentage from the floor. He's going to be able to facilitate the offense. He's going to be able to play good defense and get on the glass. When I look at this Fairfield team, yes, it's been a little hit or miss with good performances, but at this number, this is a number that I can trust Fairfield to stay within. They play good lockdown defense. They play a slow tempo. They're not going to allow Siena to just take the ball side to side and then penetrate to the rim. So I look for Fairfield to stay in this game and really frustrate Siena and help us get this over. Get this cover.
All right, let's
but
get
as
it.
far as the total, Jim,
Yeah.
I know that Noli is on the under in 129. I think that that's also a good play, but I'm not ready to make that official yet.
Fairfield plus 8. You're getting Fairfield plus 8 at minus 105 from 5 dimes. Fairfield plus 8 at minus 105 from 5 dimes. Okay, let's keep rolling through this card. Next up, Niagara, Manhattan. Manhattan opening up as 5.5 point favorites, now 6.5 point favorites, Max.
Yeah, I think that this line's going to go further in favor of Manhattan, then I'll wait to get on Niagara. I think that with Niagara, definitely you got to worry about their home and road performances being a little bit drastic in difference. But I think that Niagara, with the way that they can shoot the three-point ball, I think that's going to be the difference in this game. I think that Manhattan does have problems guarding the perimeter, specifically the three-point line. And I think that with their tempo, if Niagara gets hot at any point in this game, that could be the difference whether or not they cover or not. I always expect Kai Green to try and penetrate the rim, but I think that with Niagara's guard defenders, I think that there's a good chance that they can force a fair bit of turnovers by Manhattan tonight. Not only that, Pauly Polcap, as great as he's been offensively and on the glass, he has been turnover prone, and I think that he's made some bad decisions when it comes to passing and whether or not to take the shot. I watched a couple Manhattan games recently, and I think that he can be way more efficient. So I think that could plague them also tonight. So I'm going to wait and see where this line goes. I still think that it's going to go up in favor of Manhattan more, and then I'll be jumping on Niagara.
All right, interesting. We're going to wait and see how high it gets for Manhattan before Max makes a move on Niagara. Next up, St. Peter's Marist. St. Peter's opening up at minus 3.5, now 4 or 4.5, and this total has dropped from 123 to 120.5, Max.
Yeah, no. I'm already on St. Peter's and St. Peter's under. I'm on St. Peter's minus 4, minus 105, and St. Peter's under 122.5. I simply think that St. Peter's and Marist are going to play a game and a pace and scoring tempo that we expect from them early in the season that we haven't been seeing lately. I think that with St. Peter's, you have just so many different lineups that you can run up against Marist that I think that if something isn't working, there's options to change that, and I think that's what's really been benefiting them on this recent home run. I think that when you look at St. Peter's, I think that they're a team that's ascending. They've done a great job ATS at 10-2 on the road so far for people that have been backing them. And I think that at under 122.5, I think that this game struggles to get 115 to 117.5. So there was a lot of value still there by my estimations, and that's what warranted making plays on both.
Are you going to make a move on the under?
No, not at the number that it is now because it's at some books 2.5 points less.
All right, there we go. And we have a quick appearance from a Lucrative Larry in the house. Lucrative Larry stopping by. What a tremendous honor. We'll get back to Max's college basketball action quickly. Lucrative Larry, thank you for joining us. What is the why do we have the pleasure of seeing you here?
It's green lit.
What's that?
The fourth one.
Come on, really? There's going to be another rogue?
There's going to be another rogue.
Wow, another rogue.
Space rogue.
Space rogue?
Yep.
Wow, hear that, everybody. Can we, for those of you who may not remember, weren't with us, Larry starred in a trilogy, Gentle Rogue, Highland Rogue, and then just Rogue. and I believe it was a tale of a man named what was the man's name? Ramon, who fell in love. A sailor.
Yeah.
A sailor named Ramon who fell in love with a
Another sailor.
named Ramon.
Rain Ramon too.
Wow. And now you guys are Space Rogue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is we separate at the end of the movie. In case you haven't seen it.
We haven't. No.
You haven't seen it.
No.
Well, you should.
You know what? How? We got to get back to college basketball with Max. Could you just give us a little snippet, maybe? Could you give us like a monologue or something?
I thought you'd never ask.
Oh, beautiful. All right, take it away.
Love is colorblind, you pale son of a bitch. I love you. I love you. And scene.
Wow, that's
Full of gravitas.
that's horrifying. That is
Yes,
some
it is.
horrifying shit. Thank you for stopping
Thank
by.
you for everything, man.
You're welcome.
We all love you deeply.
Thank you, and good luck with your homosexual love tale.
It's gonna be great.
Sweet.
It's gonna be very
There,
homosexual.
okay, great. There is Lucrative Larry, Space Rogue. Come check it out very, very soon. We go right from Space Rogue to the VCU. We already know that Max is on the VCU under. Next up, Kent State, Northern Illinois. And we come to the Taint play of the day. We know that Max is rolling with the Taint play of the day, but he's not made it official. And that leads us to Iona Quinnipiac, Max. Quinnipiac opening up at -6.5, now down to -5, and a total at 146. What do you think of this Iona Quinnipiac match? And will you be interested in Space Rogue?
No, I will not be interested in Space Rogue. But I will say that I will be taking Quinnipiac -5 on the full game. I think that this is a spot where Iona losing Asante Gist definitely still has a 2-game hangover. And with Quinnipiac having some questionable performances as of late, I look for them to find a little more consistency at home, and for Rich Kelly and Jacob Bergoni to put some work in. So when you got the best rebounder in the conference in Marfa, I think that you'll be okay at home for this Iona team, which fouls a lot, and you can't rely on Isaiah Washington to score the basketball consistently.
Max on Quinnipiac -5, and I'm going to tail that look on Quinnipiac at home in a possible get right spot. I'm going to tail that right now. Adam Brooks says, please take Larry to Canada. No, under no circumstances will I be doing that. And Coco Bongo is saying I dressed like that when I was 6 years old. So let's keep rolling down this. We already know that Max is back in Illinois. That leaves us with 2 games left, Max. South Alabama, Troy. Troy opening up as 4-point dogs. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is a play where I think that I'm going to be taking Troy. I think that South Alabama definitely has been inconsistent. I thought that they'd be a lot better than they have been so far this season. When I look at Troy, I think that Troy definitely is going to be able to combat South Alabama's size in the front court. I think that with some confusion of the hierarchy in the backcourt for South Alabama of who takes shots when, I think that's going to be able I think that Troy's going to be able to take advantage of that. Coming off such a big win against Georgia State, I think that definitely some people would be looking to fade Troy, but I think that as a home dog, they're going to be amped up for this Friday night game. And if I wasn't correct, yes, it is on ESPN too. So we know what happens on nationally televised games for teams that don't normally play on there. Probably get a better performance. And by my numbers, Troy should have only been a 1 or 1.5 point underdog. So at 4, there's value by my estimations.
And you want Troy +4 -105?
Yes, sir.
All right. Troy +4. Troy +4 at -105. I'm going to roll with that Troy home dog as well. I'm on Quinnipiac -5 at -105, and now I'm on Troy +4 at -105. That leads us to the last spot on this card, Central Michigan, Buffalo. Buffalo opening up at -5.5. That's where they stand right now, Max. You've done nice work with Buffalo Bulls. Are you going to make a move here?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to make a move here. I already have a play on the under, but at a better number, so nothing for me on his side perspective. Well,
that leads us into the play of the day. The play of the day. We had a rough one yesterday. Let's see the bounce back. I'm going to tail the bounce back. What is today's play of the day?
Yeah, I want to get a winner for this last one, and you know what? A smart capper knows another smart capper and recognizes it. So I want to shout out Matt Randall, who is always in here putting winners in the chat exclusively for your show, Jim. And in honor of him, in honor of you, I'll take Northern Illinois first half money line as my final play of the day.
Oh, I love it. Because then that gives me the double up spot. I tailed the Taint play of the day earlier, and let's get on them first half as well. That's Northern Illinois full game money line, and I love it. That's exciting. This is going to be an exciting spot tonight. Let's grab it right now. We're going to go to first half money line right now. First half money line. And let's get it. First half money line. On Northern Illinois, you're getting plus 110. That's available at Bet365, UWager, Heritage, and 5 Dimes. Northern Illinois. First half at plus 110. I love it. Brooke Jordan says, Larry, the new Fabio. There's more to this show. It's not ending right now. We do have another special guest who is going to join us. Let's take a look at Max's action. Max, will you hang out with us till the rest of the show?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sweet. Max is on Illinois minus 2.5, Cornell under 136, VCU under 137, Yale minus 5.5, Brown minus 3.5, Canisius plus 7.5, Fairfield plus 8, Quinnipiac minus 5, and Troy plus 4. And then his play of the day is Northern Illinois first half at plus 110. There you have it. Man, I just want this show to go on forever. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end. This chat has just meant so much to me. And Max means so much. This whole thing. There's DJ Big Boss coming in later. I don't want it to end. I don't want this to end. Max, would you please, for the final guest of Betting with the Bag, in the history of Betting with the Bag, could you please introduce none other than Freddie Fortune for us?
Absolutely. You know what, guys? I've had a lot of pleasures on this show. I love being able to talk college basketball with Jim and with everybody in the chat. But one of my secret pleasures of this show has always been something that I get to do right now. And that's take the distinct, honorable pleasure of introducing to you guys the one and only, the guy that some people love and some people are scared of, but I like a brother, Freddie Fortune.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, what's going on? Why is everybody crying?
No one's crying, man. It's not. You brought a bag of batteries. Are you going to beat somebody
No,
up?
this is a gift. You're supposed to.
Oh.
There's a gift for you behind your screen.
Wow. Yeah. A bag of batteries.
Shut up. No one knows.
That is incredibly sweet. Boston Nick. No, we've got Mr. Fat Fist will be giving us a UFC play of the day here. We're just bringing in our final live guest here, and that would be Freddie Fortune. Freddie, what you've come to give your last bet on Betting with the Bag.
What?
Yeah, this show's ending. I'm leaving Costa Rica. Yeah.
Is this a joke?
No, it's not a joke. Come sit. Come join us. Come on, sit down. Come on.
I don't want to. That means that this is going to end.
Yes, it's going to end.
You suck, man.
Okay, stay cool. Stay cool. Come on, grab a seat. Stay cool. Keep your fucking shit together. Here we have Freddie Fortune. Freddie Fortune has come with one final bet for us, and I told him, I was like, look, Freddie, you're picking sports that we don't cap and we've never heard of before, and you said you were going to give something that we'd all be interested in, right?
I got bad news first.
What's up?
Remember my Sydney to Hobart play, sailing, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
It lost.
Oh, it's too bad. I barely remember that. But you have something for us now, right?
Yeah, I got some basketball for you.
Basketball? Okay,
yeah, I got a sweet, delicious plus 236 parlay.
Okay. Well, we have one final bet coming up from Freddie Fortune.
Yes.
Before we get to that bet,
my friend.
Let's bring in the UFC play of the day from Mr. Fat Fist, a.k.a. Boston Nick. Take it away, Rafa.
What's going on, Jimmy? What's going on, low baggers? Last betting with the bag. Sad, sad day for all of us. I know. I feel like Friday the 13th right now. But it's been an unreal ride, unreal. And it's been an honor and a privilege to be a part of this. I love every single one of you guys in that chat. I'm in there chopping up with you guys every day. And we are an army. We are an army now, a low bag army. That being said, we're going to keep this thing going. So, but like I said, it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of Betting with the Bag. Jimmy, you're an inspiration. That's point blank, end of story. Hook, line, sinker. So I really appreciate everything you've done for me from the bottom of my heart. So, let's get on to UFC 247, Houston, Texas. Boston Knicks UFC quick picks. And we'll get on to John Jones, Dominic Reyes, Valentina Shevchenko versus Caitlin Chukagian. First up, I have a parlay between John Jones, Valentina Shevchenko, and Alex Morono. You're going to get minus 122. You're going to get that over at Sports International. And I like Morono a lot in this fight, especially with the early replacement. I believe he actually gets a sub here somehow. And this guy is very plotty on his front foot, just kind of 1-2 sloppy, wild combination. And I hate combinations, and I do see him start to gas after the first round. Not even the second round, but after the first round. So coming in the UFC, his debut, I think his adrenaline's going to definitely give him a big dump. And I think Morono gets him out of there inside the distance. But parlay gets you at minus 122 at Sports International. Next up, we got a parlay between John Jones, Valentina Shevchenko, and Corey Anderson, who fights Jan Blachowicz next week. Let's face it, Corey Anderson should be fighting right now for the belt. He should be fighting tomorrow night against John Jones. I don't know why or how they're giving Dominic Overrated Reyes this shot after beating Chris Weidman at his first fight up at 205. It makes zero sense to me. But we'll get on to that next week. Yep, you're going to get minus 103, just about even odds on that. And also, you're going to get that at Sports International. Next up, we got John Jones, Valentina Shevchenko, parlayed with Michelle, they can call him Michelle, but Michelle Pereira. He's a crazy wildman in there. He did lose his fight, his last fight, just simply for being a dumbass. I do believe he learned his lesson this time around and gets the job done versus Diego Sanchez. Let's face it, Diego Sanchez shouldn't be fighting anymore. He definitely has CTE. I don't know why Dana White still let him fight. So, that being said, they're all 1.5 unit bets. You're going to get that one at plus 118 at Sports International. And I do have a couple other Twitter bets. Check me out on Twitter, and we'll go from there. But as an epic movie once said, all right, Goonies, low baggers never fucking say die. And remember that. All right? Boston Knicks out, guys.
There he is, our guy, Mr. Fat Fist, a.k.a. Boston Nick, giving us a giving us a
I'm sorry, Jimmy.
There he is, Boston Nick, a.k.a. Mr. Fat Fist, giving us a few now, Boston Nick also has been putting parlays to John Jones for weeks on end now. So shout out to our Mr. Fat Fist. Paulo Marquez, much love to you. Paco Healy, Dutch Boy, Fresh. Max, I want to get the camera off of Freddie for a second. You have a new college basketball show popping off that I want to be a part of so badly. But please tell the cappers in the chat watching this show a little bit about your new college basketball show.
Yeah, so it's going to be a show featuring the one and only Donnie Rightside. We're going to have Flash on there also. And, of course, I'm going to be there. We're going to talk about stuff that's going on within college basketball. It's not going to be completely pick-related. And I think that's going to be a real interesting format, probably familiar to some. And I think that it's going to be a real interesting step as far as the college basketball coverage that SBR is doing. So I look forward to working with Donnie and Flash, and I look forward to providing, hopefully, winning picks, because that is why I followed you on here, Jim.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I love it, Max. I will be watching. And congratulations, you deserve all this. Shout out to catered to you by Chef Jeff, Paco Healy, Chris Garza, Eddie Euler, Doug Barnhouse, Steven Esposito, Lucky Lefty, DJ Big Boss, DX Filer, Nutflush Allen, Big Ragu, 420 Fuego, Lance Rose, all you guys, man, you mean so much to the show and so much to us. Freddie, you said you have a basketball play. You have some? No. Oh, all right, I know you feel. I know. Stop. No. Okay, this is great. Freddie, you have never given us a parlay that we cared about. Now you're going to talk basketball. We've been talking college basketball, NBA basketball. I'm very interested to hear your basketball parlay. Hit us with it.
I'm glad you're leaving.
Okay. All right.
That way I won't be sad ever again.
Okay. What's your basketball parlay? We're all pumped.
Fuck you, Jimmy.
Okay. What's your basketball parlay? Let's hear it.
Stop laughing, Maxwell.
Come on. What's your basketball parlay? Let's hear it.
Stop laughing.
Come on. Jamming with J Money's coming in very soon. We need to hear your basketball parlay.
J Money, here's my play for you.
Okay. I'm sure you're going to talk about it on Jamming with J Money.
It's a sweet, delicious, exciting, and very arousing basketball parlay.
Okay. What is it?
It's Baltic women basketball. The first game will be Tartu University women on the spread. I fucking love the spreads, man. Plus 22.5. What's so funny? Is this a comedy show?
No, plus 22.5 dog in Baltic women's basketball. What do you parlay?
What do you know about basketball?
I guess not as much.
I love underdogs.
Okay. What's your next? What are you parlaying that with?
With the Barbados Premier League. It's the Barbados. I'm fucking nervous.
Okay, I know. It's okay.
Barbados Premier League. It's the I can't talk anymore.
So you did a little Baltic women's basketball.
And Barbados Warriors plus 32.5.
Plus 32.5.
Yes, at minus 120, which gives me a plus 236 parlay.
All right. Well, that will be.
Is my friend Peter in the chat?
He was for the first time. It made me so happy. I love him.
Yeah, I saw his comments.
Yeah. What a guy he is.
Is he watching my plays right now?
I'm sure he's very interested in your action.
No, he hated me.
Well, I mean, it's I guess he did hate you. Thank you for that parlay, little basketball parlay. I'm sure they'll be talking about that with Jamming with J Money. Maxwell Smart, my man, thank you for joining us. And Rafa, my producer on the ones and twos. I love working with you. You're a great, great guy. To all of the guests that we had on the show, means so much to me. Matt Randall, Al Mac, Parlay Poppy, Big Dude, Teddy Covers, Maxwell Smart, Mr. Fat Fist, and to everybody at SBR, and to you guys in the chat. You make this so special. I have 2 plays in NHL, man. I need to bounce back from last night. Rangers -1 and the under 5.5 in Detroit Columbus.
Fucking Larry.
And then I'm on the over 218 in Pacers Raptors. Can you give us a leche? One final leche? Come on. One final leche for us?
Can we do it together?
No. I want you to give us a final leche, please. Please.
You suck so good.
You've meant so much to the show. Give us final leche. Yeah, can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Leche, hello bookmaker! That's delicious. What's so funny?